Hi there, everyone. Tyler Jensen here with another Prayer Life devotion at 12:45. Today is Thursday, April 29th, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Today I'm going to be talking about love. I'm going to be reading from 1 John chapter 4, verses 7 through 12. It is the verses that we, some of them at least, that we read yesterday in church and that we'll read on Sunday, so I apologize for using them again, but just a really powerful part of the Bible and one that I'd like to give my take on, if that's all right. So, without further ado, here is the passage. Beloved, let us love one another, because love is from God. Everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, for God is love. God's love was revealed among us in this way. God sent his only Son into the world so that we might live through him. In this is love, not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son to be the atoning sacrifice for our sins. Beloved, since God loved us so much, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us, and his love is perfected in us. That ends the passage. Oh, so that's a heavy one. I think it's central to our beliefs as Christians, that we love one another and we treat people with that love and respect that, they should be treated with as human beings. Now, what I want to talk about is, love does not necessarily mean making people happy all the time. Let's take, for example, this. So let's say you have somebody that you're trying to love that has a gambling problem. And, you have a couple options, well, a few, but here's two options that you have. One, you could help them gamble because that's going to make them happy for the short term. Or you can say, no, I'm not going to help you gamble. And that's going to make them probably angry at you and unhappy at the time. But, the second option is probably the one that can be done from a place of love. Because if you're just saying, I'm going to make you happy in the short term on whether it's gambling, whether it's drugs or alcohol, whether it's just bad behavior, you're not helping them, you're not loving them, you're enabling them in order to make your life better because you don't have to deal with them being angry and upset at you. So love comes in a very variety of ways, but you always have to remember this. And Pastor Steve kind of talked on it. This is an idea that kind of was discussed during Pastor Steve's sermon. It's a little bit of a different take on it. What you have to do when you're making like these decisions in your life is you just have to remember that you have to do it from a place of love, that you're always keeping that as the central part of what you're trying to do. That you're trying to do something from because you love someone. So it's not that you're wanting to, going back to our metaphor about our example of the gambling problem, it's not that you're wanting to make them miserable by saying, no, you can't gamble. It's that you're saying, I love you so much that I don't want to see you hurt yourself by continuing with this self-destructive behavior. So, if you're just saying, no, you can't gamble because that's stupid and you're stupid, no, that's not from a place of love. That is from you being on a high horse and saying, I know better than you, and so therefore you should not do, so you should do what I say. Whereas I love you too much to see you hurt yourself. That's an entirely different way. They're the same kind of things that you can, there are similar things that you can say in both of those approaches, but both of those approaches are come from completely different places. And, one of them will probably end up working out much better for you in terms of a relationship with that person in the long run. So, you know what, that's the biggest thing that I just gotta say is, make sure whatever you're doing in your life, you're doing from a place of love for the person that you're trying to deal with. And again, that doesn't mean being their best friend all the time. That can be making some very hard decisions. But you gotta just remember that whatever you're doing with them, you are trying to love them as best you can. So, yeah. Thank you all for listening in on this prayer life. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. And yeah, have a good one. Bye.